I would love to see that as well, but based on that last map, I'm not sure if they're gonna have the drive. It's gonna be tough. I mean, if I came off a 6 loss, I mean, then again, think about it. I'd rather take a 16-0 loss and come back as opposed to taking a 16-14. So let's say if they were able to come back, but then Mousepads, won it out. At least 16-0, you kind of didn't really expel anything, right?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that, coming back from a 16-0 takes a little less effort, I think, than coming back from a 16-14, especially since it takes a lot more time to play that 16-14. You put a lot more effort into it.
Right?
I mean, pretty early on, we could see that Mousepads were just outclassing Howl there. And so maybe they just used it to kind of like warm up, and now they're ready for map 2. But we see 3 players for Howl go down here on this A site push, leaving Xelerando and Spzrta against 4 Mousepad players, who 3 of which are on the A site. That's the bomb going down, Xelerando killing Cadius and Bradyy getting the trade. Oh my goodness, what a shot from Bradyy on Spzrta to give Mousepads the first round. So last map, we saw Howl force up into the second round, and that kind of really messed with their economy for the first 5 rounds-ish. And so I like the change here, just getting 2 flashbangs and a P250, keeping their economy pretty high for the next round, maybe even giving them some rifles, depending on how this round goes. You see 1 scout and 2 SMGs, a Tech 9, and an M4 on the side of Mousepads.
That is a quasi-buy if I've ever seen one. You know what though? That scout is going to be able to do a ton of damage, and if any of those ooh, nice shot by Dyzoe. If any of those SMGs can follow up on those tags, that's going to be great. He goes for another frag, does connect, taking out Tav. Dyzoe just doing work over at long with the scout, going for a third on the Spzrta, no armor, tag Loki, and clearing it out. Really, really great hold coming out of Dyzoe at long. This is fantastic.
And Dyzoe is clearly keeping up his momentum from the first map. I mean, on Inferno, he did an excellent job holding mid and really shutting down any presence from Team Howl. And he's clearly just continuing that here. We're going to see Mousepads try to go for the bonus round here, keeping their same buy, basically keeping their economy mostly the same with the exception of the utility buys, whereas Howl will have their first full rifle round since, I don't know, round 7 of Inferno. Bradyy takes a lot of damage from Loki there in short B. Clearly the AK had an advantage against the Tech 9, not a surprise there. But we see Mousepads once again, as you mentioned early on in the broadcast, getting this map control, taking control of Fountain, holding down the top of Con. They've really pinched this Howl team into this B site.
Really have to be careful though, since cadius is so far pushed up. If they were to make their way back there, all that we would see is we'd see Dyzoe being able to rotate back, and the next closest person would be Bradyy with 6 HP. So we'd be very, very careful with being that aggressive. But I think cadius is playing very smart, and we're not seeing any peaks being given away. Guzman does spot Spzrta over at short B. And it looks like they're going to be working in. Ooh, Spzrta with the snap over. That spray control. Low HP Loki gets taken out. Gorclo and Spzrta both down to about 30 HP as well. So a couple taps in the legs will even do it. Damage coming through the boxes. Gorclo being taken out. Spzrta gets his second frag on cadius, giving him and Tav a 2v2 versus Bradyy with 6 HP. Dyzoe with that scout heaven.
My goodness. And he's going to just dry peek this scout, lose the spray completely, and Dyzoe is just going to make slight work of him. 100 HP versus 6 HP with 2 seconds. No time.
No time.
Oh my. I think Team Howl just gave away that round.
They had no agency. They didn't. I don't think they would have lost. Like they would have lost focus on that time. I think they were just worried about not dying. I think Mousepads slowly getting into their heads.
Yeah, I mean, we had a flashbang there on Tav, and I mean, good choice here to go ahead and save with one of your teammates having a $450. But you did have a flashbang on Tav last round. I'm surprised he didn't flash himself in instead of just taking that dry peek on a Dyzoe that's barely missed any shots. Double op setup coming in from Mousepads, a very early kill from Guzman on Tav in short there, pushing up into Con. Dyzoe cleaning up Loki. Pretty simple shot. Bradyy wasn't kidding when he said he was going to op this game, because that was quite a kill there on Xelerando. And now that leaves a very low Spzrta with a smoke and a flash and a Gorclo, both of which do not have the bomb, just limping their way to the next round. Well, Gorclo has been spotted at the top of connector by cadius. This will be an interesting exchange, maybe not actually, as cadius and Guzman once again just clean up the round. I like the teamwork I'm continuing to see from those two.
I feel like all the Sunny Mousepads players are pretty confident with each other, and we see this with top teams, actually even pro teams as well, where you can trust your teammates. You know that they're holding, watching all the areas that you don't have to, which allows you to hyper focus on one or two areas, making it significantly better. Whereas I feel like, ooh, nice pick from Bradyy. I feel like Howl don't have that luxury. They don't have the chemistry quite yet. I feel like they're getting it, but we're seeing a really strong showing coming out of Mousepads, and this is the Mousepads that I want to see against a team like Kulas, or somebody that I think they will be actually versing if they do end up taking this and this map. They'll be against Kulas probably tomorrow or Thursday, I would assume.
Yeah, I believe the winner bracket final is set to go on Thursday, with the loser of this game facing Weight Slammers tomorrow evening.
Yeah.
We see a quick attempt at an A execute coming out of Howl here, but Bradyy's just picking them off one by one. First winning the op duel against Xelerando and then taking out Loki there. An interesting molly there to keep Bradyy from peeking. Gorclo with the nice edge peek on the smoke, but doesn't check his truck. And Bradyy will take out Tav in response. Jump spotting mid, confirming the location of the last player, and this should be a pretty quick wrap up here with Bradyy getting this op kill on Spzrta. I like the fact that we're being privileged to Bradyy op right now. We are seeing excellent op play coming out of Bradyy at the moment, sitting at 10-0, with his counterpart with the other op, Dyzoe, being at 9-2. And no more than 2 frags for any member of Team Howl. This is looking awfully familiar.
I mean, you can see the difference once again, like even the utility just coming out of both teams. You have Mousepads, complete full utility. The aggression though, Bradyy, he actually gets punished by Loki, not able to use any of that utility, drops it all down, but we just see the mow down coming from cadius, completely blind. Guzman following right back up with a really nice 2K, going for the third on a Xelerando. Slow shots, ends up taking him out with the USP. Spzrta in a 1v4, they know where he is, just gonna push him and take him out.
I think that whole round is basically just a visual representation of what we were just talking about teamwork and chemistry. I mean, we saw an excellent entry frag by, I believe it was Loki onto Bradyy. And then once they got to the site, all it took was one flashbang to disrupt the entirety of that round, with no counter push coming in through Monster, no one peeking Monster side at all. And DY is just going to go for this early pick in Fountain. The molly allowing him to cross, but Loki does see him and catches him in his aggression, picking up an AK for that. So now we have a second kill from Loki, with cadius getting 2 there, Gorclo with the trade. Now we have a 3v2 in favor of the T's, with an op, an AK, and an M4. A full belt of utility on Gorclo to help with this A execute, but Tav just runs without his team up to the A site and gets picked off by Bradyy, who's waiting for him. And
I did crouch peek that angle as well, but he did it a little too early and popped up. They don't realize he's there. Brady's going for the peek onto Xelerando to plant. That's to sit in sight, going for that shot over on the Gorclo. Left Gorclo, naded Kobe. Rest in peace.
wow, that fell apart extremely quickly for Team Howl. I'm kind of at a loss for words, honestly. I mean, we see yet again Team Howl likely gonna have to either light buy or save. We see, yeah, okay, so we see 1 AK potentially, nope, 2, 3, okay, kind of a late buy then coming in from Team Howl here. Well, let's just see what they do with it.
Frags coming out all across the board for Mousepads. Xelerando rushing a 1v4 into being taken out by Bradyy with the P250. Doesn't even have to use the op.
Yeah, and we see a very hefty round there coming in from Howl. I mean, it was, I'm not sure whether that was just a misbuy on Loki with a correction from his teammates to try to make something out of that, or if it was actually just their idea to go ahead and have that sort of, like you say, quasi-buy there. But a good flash in, missed shot there in con by Guzman. Dyzoe, however, doesn't miss his shot on Loki.
Bradyy picking one up on a tab as well, and Guzman taking Spzrta out. 3 ops, triple op setup, triple opski coming out hard, and ooh, a nasty flick from Bradyy onto Xelerando. That was really clean shot there. Really
My
well
goodness.
done.
Yeah, I definitely think that if we see this form for Mousepads coming in Thursday night, if they were to win this match, if we see this form of Mousepads coming in Thursday night against Kulas Nation, who have already secured their spot in the winter bracket final, that would be an excellent game. I would love to see that best of 3 between those two teams, as Mousepads and Kulas both seem in top tier form right now.
This shot actually coming out of Bradyy. Just talk about how nice his shots are and how good on form these guys are. Easy flashes coming out from the CT side. Dyzoe not necessarily realizing Spzrta's over on the left during that heaven smoke. Nades coming out. Bradyy being mollied off, but he takes a tab anyways, spamming through the smoke. Cadius taking out Xelerando and Gorclo. Dyzoe grabbing an op kill of his own.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we caught that flick by Dyzoe there on stream, but my goodness, that was, honestly, if you're familiar with it, I'm sure you are, the term black scope, it looked very close to a black scope. I mean, that was insane.
We'll try to grab that, maybe make a little content from that as well.
Once again, DY getting the early pick there in Fountain. He continues to get aggressive, and Guzman just says, all right, I'll do you one better, DY, watch this. And he pushes up in there, gets a second frag, and is looking for his third on Xelerando. Actually, gets his third on Tav. Xelerando with the trade onto Guzman, however. 4v2 for Mousepads against Howl here. Howl pick up 2 ops, though, and looking at their economy, and knowing that, oh, they're not aware of the blink from Bradyy. My goodness.
By just reading Spzrta 11-0. They are just dominating Team Howl. I think Mousepads are really showing exactly what they normally do. And we've seen this before. It's not a surprise, but it kind of is. I thought Howl, at least based on how they've been playing, would be able to pull together at least a couple rounds, but they're just being shut down, and that's tough as well, right? Mentally, at that point, you start shutting down, and you just keep hoping for the frags, but they're just getting outplayed.
Yeah, I think at this point, Mousepads are just in the heads of Howl. Oh, I hear a bomb being planted. And yes, it for the first time, I believe, in this half, we see a bomb plant. So that's certainly an improvement for Howl. Guzman gets the frag on Loki as he tries to re-peek there, though. 2v4, 3 ops. Doesn't look very good at the moment. Yeah, and Xelerando will get the kill on Dyzoe, but DY will trade that for him, and a little bit of fun going on, I think, on the Mousepads in here with 2 players being at max money, 3 ops. I think Mousepads at this point are just trying to see exactly what they can get away with.
But they really want to really just want to see a bounce back from Howl. I want to see them being able to fight back. But you know what? It is really great to see the form that the Mousepads are in. DY getting the first frag onto Xelerando, and Tav answering right back onto him. Guzman down to 73 HP. Shot coming out from Dyzoe, taking out one. Missed shot onto Tav, going for the second. Spzrta taking out Dyzoe through the smoke. Spzrta sitting in the bathrooms. Guzman tries to go for the peek there. He's taken out by Spzrta. And once again, man advantage for Team Howl, leaving Bradyy and cadius in a 2v3.
And I am not going to say it because the last time I said it, it did not go very well. But I am very interested in seeing how this retake goes for Mousepads. Let me put it that way. And it's done. Team Howl actually does manage to hold off Mousepads and wins their first round of the match, making it 12-1 on Overpass. And that has got to breathe some life back into you if you're Team Howl. You have got to be sighing now, thinking, okay, we finally won a round. Let's see if we can just relax and get these last 2 rounds of the half and move into the CT half with some momentum. An interesting buy by Guzman having a scout when he obviously has plenty of money. I wonder if he just... Oh, it doesn't matter. He makes an excellent shot there onto Tav. 4v3 coming in for Team Howl. Still have that scout in play from Guzman, as well as a M4 and an AWP. Hades gets a kill on Loki, and Gorclo will get that trade there on the A site. They're aware of where Guzman is in long, but just misses. Oh my goodness, Guzman! Calm down, sir. Oh my gosh!
It was insane. Holy 4K coming out of... He really doesn't want Howl to get any rounds.
Yeah, I mean, Guzman, I formally apologize for questioning your buy of the scout because you completely destroyed them that round. So you know what, man? You do you. You do you. You want to buy a scout? Go for it. Because clearly that scout and your deagle, of course, gave you a 4K. Some early damage onto Bradyy on the B site, and barely any damage done to Spzrta in return. So, oh my goodness, this man. Guzman said, "It's my turn. You all can just stop playing and take a break."
Yeah, don't worry, boys. I got this. Door stuck coming out from Team Howl. They're fumbling a little bit. Katie is taking out Tav from Monster. Bradyy is 12 HP, gets a shot into Gorclo, leaving Spzrta in a 1v4. Katie closes it out. 14-1, signing Mousepad.
My goodness. I mean, we see not a single player for Team Howl that has more than 10 frags. Whereas, for the side of Team Mousepads, we have 4 out of 5 players that have over 10 frags, and 2 of which are nearing 20. So definitely the scoreboard speaks for itself. Only 2 deaths on Bradyy. At one point, he was 10-0. This man is clearly feeling himself.
Kind of crazy to see Mousepads in the 7 for him. Actually, DY 9 kills on the board, but
But a 14-1 lead.
yeah. So I mean, it doesn't even have to do much, but he is over 80 ADR, meaning he's getting quite a bit. But Guzman is 124. Brady's at 100 with a 9.5 KD. I mean, you can tell they're using ops because look at that headshot percentage. It's not that high. But phenomenal job. Almost no utility damage coming out of Mousepads as well. There's out-fragging Howl. But it looks like they are grouping up towards the bomb site. Guzman is making his way up the fountain stairs, holding that push there. Seems like Howl has the read. Cav taking out cadius. Spzrta answering on Bradyy, getting a second frag onto Dyzoe, going for the third onto DY, jumping up. DY gets taken out by Xelerando, leaving Guzman in a 1 versus 5. Even though Team Howl got damaged down completely, none of them actually died, and Team Howl picks up their second round in the game.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that speaks volumes about the endurance there of Team Howl, and I think it also gives them a breath of life. I mean, as we saw in many rounds, you cannot count out Mousepad's ability to use a deagle, and we do see a deagle on Dyzoe there. But I mean, this could potentially give Howl those few rounds that it may take for them to, you know, get their breath back in them and kind of revitalize themselves. They have a long way to go, but winning the pistol round is a good start. Loki with a double kill here, switching to the Dobrettas and Khan after the first opening kill there occurred on B site. And so now, if Loki continues and goes up this ladder, he will see that he has bomb. Xelerando getting a kill. Good trade by Bradyy onto Xelerando, using that MP7 to full advantage, but he's about to get triple pinched here. He gets a second kill onto Loki. Can Spzrta and... Okay, I was going to say, if Spzrta and Tav do not peek this together, this could spell destruction, but they do pick up that third round.
That's the type of team dynamic you want to see, is them actually being together. Before, we were just seeing them kind of go one by one and trying to, but the timing was there. They're able to take it round over Mousepads, and now we see 5 AKs coming out of signing Mousepads against 2 FAMI, 1 MP9, and 2 M4.
FAMI, I like that. That was a good one there. I don't think I've ever heard someone say that before.
I assume it's the plural of famous, but it could be famouses, famousy. I think FAMI works. And pushing up short seemed to work for cadius as well, taking out Spzrta, and Xelerando is tagged down to 12 HP. Bradyy with 50, and the rest of Mousepads are completely full. So it looks like they have dropped a bomb outside of T-spawn, with the rest of the team making their way up towards bathroom to possibly hit A pretty soon.
Yeah, and hopefully Team Howl don't mistake this, I was going to say this fake here from Dyzoe and these flashbangs as B presence, because Gorclo will get... Oh no, Gorclo is actually already rotated to the B site. Oh, they're about to just give Mousepads the A site. Honestly, if I'm Howl, if I hear that presence on the A site, I'm saving these weapons at this point. I'm playing for overtime. It's a 3v3, you know, both of them have full utility. It's gonna be difficult to retake the site knowing that you just made that much noise. But if I don't get a kill super early here, I might save.
Cav is running away with his knife. I'm not too sure why he wouldn't try to fight with his teammate. He just baits them so hard and ends up getting taken out by Guzman.
Yeah. and see, this is what I'm talking about here. You see, Tav was the only one able to actually purchase a weapon of significant value, and the rest of the team is now in a place where they have to save. If you back it up, save those 3 weapons, you have a much better chance at least getting a 4th round on the board and not just almost giving away the game point.
Yeah, really tough. And Hopefully they watch the VOD and listen to criticisms, or not criticisms, the construction that Mousepad just mowing them down, leaving Loki with that op. He was able to retrieve it, but just hauling back all the way. Looks like cadius is making his way up through B rotated well. Loki probably, yeah, looks like he is pushed there, and cadius sprays him down, takes him out. 16-3, signing Mousepad. Team Howl. Week 2 of our playoffs for Counter-Strike Go.